everyone wants to convince you that buying a home right now is near impossible or just out of reach, and I don't believe that. When I was 25, this is 5 years ago now, right? I purchased a home on my own for $500,000, and I don't come from money whatsoever. So it's definitely something that's feasible and doable. Really comes down to two things when you're buying a home, right? It's going to be your income, and it's going to be your credit score. So income, I was around 70K a year. I'd say anywhere between 50 to 70 is a healthy range depending on mortgage rate, right? If you're trying to pay $1,200 a month, 50K a year probably scoot you by, man. Credit score, I was around a 720, I think, 712, 720 when I did the home purchase. And it took me a while to get that credit score up. I think honestly that was the most difficult part, right? Because you got to teach yourself some sort of financial literacy, you know. Making income is one thing, but keeping that income and building credit with it and utilizing it properly, that's another kind of story, right? Those are really only the two things that you have to do, right? Income, credit score. Boom. You got a house, man. So when I was 25, I had a bunch of dogs, and I still have a bunch of dogs. We have a lot of dogs. We have a bunch of working breeds, and renting just wasn't cutting it. Honestly, the size was a big thing, right? Obviously, the house was too small, but just knowing that, like, hey, I couldn't knock a wall down if I wanted to make more space, or I couldn't do whatever I say on my property, right? Those were things that really prompted me to say, you know, I want my own piece of property, my own piece of land, somewhere I can just really do my own thing and not be too bothered, right? Of course, got into a place with an HOA, so there's a little bit of like a, hey, you know, can't do something, but that is a small price to pay for having neighbors who are held to the same standards, right? You don't want to go, you know, that's kind of the kicker too about saying like HOA versus non-HOA. As it's like, okay, non-HOA is cool because there's not a bunch of rules and regulations being enforced on me, but if my neighbor's a slobby motherfucker, then those rules aren't being enforced on him. Well, that sucks for the neighborhood, right? Because now his property's full of trash, it looks like shit, and brings down value everywhere. So HOA is really a double-edged sword, right? What are you looking for? How much land do you have? How close are your neighbors? All things to consider when doing those two things. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with what we did. And like I said, really was an easy process. This was the first house we looked at, too. And we went ahead and bought it. So, this was during the bidding wars. So, I mean, you had people trying to outbid everybody. We even got outbid when we put the offer down on the house. And luckily, my name was the same name as the seller's son. So it just kind of worked in our favor that they gave us the long straw. You know what I mean? They definitely just kind of gave it to us versus taking a higher bid. But those bidding wars are done. Property is everywhere, man. The fucking surplus of inventory is insane. I mean, just in my neighborhood alone, I look around and it's crazy how many houses are going up just 2 minutes down the road. Which really leads me to think, how the fuck are they going to fill all these, right? Now you have this surplus of inventory, but it's like, economically, we're kind of in this fucking dumpster, which has always been the case, so I digress. Regardless, make the jump if you're thinking about make the jump, or at least try, start the process on buying a home, because what that entails is making more money and building a better credit score, right? And those are just things that are going to benefit you for the rest of your life. It's not like something that's going to be thrown to the wayside. But yeah, dude, that's my story time for today. The shit was pretty easy. 25, I fucking wanted a house, bought one for $500,000, and yeah, been here since, man. Fucking been through the ringer with it too, though. We've also kind of hit really hard times and had to figure out, hey, how do we save the home and everything? So, nothing's ever a steady, smooth wave, but if you learn how to ride those waves, dude, and take the dips and hit the peaks, life becomes pretty fun. And that's what I'm really pushing towards now. Things are going to start getting a lot more fun. But I digress. I hope you guys liked the video. I said digress a lot in this one. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling. I like these story times because I can just really say whatever, and even if people don't make it all the way through or whatever, it just kind of feels good for my brain to get all these you know, pent up words in my head out and just kind of have a clean slate on a nice Sunday. But yeah, I hope you all have a blessed day. Definitely do your online church stuff. That's what I'm about to do after this. I'm going to record this at least, is I'll jump on church on my phone and I'll start editing the video while I'm watching and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys are the best, and I really believe that you can do anything you set your mind to, including buy a home or whatever that may be. Peace.